Hey guys, it's Todd from Like Minded Lunatics, bringing you, it's another drink, play, swear. Hey, it's all we do around here. I mean, besides visiting the liquor store with our brother-in-law when they open in the morning, it's all we can reveal we've recently done. Round here, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Drink, Play, Swear, and welcome back to Like Minded Lunatics. You know that Like Minded Lunatics is not just me here at Drink, Play, Swear. No, it's not. It's all kinds of stuff. It's Mark, bang, at the Friday Night Videos, co-founder of LML, putting out great stuff. We are also on Austin Music T.V, channel 16 in Austin, Texas. And if you don't have television in the Austin market, you can check us out on Patreon. There are always links in the description. There are always links in the description, friend. And bang, if you haven't done so already, please hit that subscription button so we can see how big this family of like-minded weirdos, degenerates, runaways, and ne'er-do-wells is getting. It gets bigger every day, and we're so happy for it. I mean, it maybe gives us, like, more joy than it should, you know, in terms of, like, self-worth. But hey, we're working on that in therapy, right? Anyway, hope you guys are doing well. What is it we do here at Drink, Play, Swear? Well, it's exactly what it sounds like. We play a game, usually a classic one. I pair it with a beverage. And we tell a story, don't we? Yes, we do. We tell a lot of stories around here. And I tell mostly stories from my childhood, but today I have a more recent one. That's right, so that'll be fun. But let's get into the game first. What are we playing in the game? Ooh, it's Nintendo's own 1943. A great little top-down fighter set during World War II, right? And check this out, fun little story. This is a great game, a real crowd pleaser, I hope. What am I pairing with it today? Well, you know what it is. There's no guessing, is there? It's a Jim Beam and Coke. Please get yourself something. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot how much I like these. I didn't forget. I don't know why I'm pretending. Okay. I'm not going to go too much into the story in 1943 because, like, I get it. You know what I mean? But I do need to familiarize myself with the buttons. Oh, okay. Distribute points to power up your P38. Okay. Let me see if I know how to do that. Offensive power, energy, special weapon. Let's do it. Okay. Yeah, 1943, great game. Did not own this as a kid. It was a renter, and I rented it often when I, there was no new games that I really wanted. They didn't look good to me, and so I would go with this because it was a fun one I didn't own that I always wanted to play. So B is my fire. And, oh yeah, okay, A is my special, which somehow I have the power to strike lightning on people? Like, I'm Thor in an airplane? That's cool. I'll be Thor in an airplane all day. Can I not kill that guy? Okay. What are we getting into in terms of the story today? Well, I don't know if you can see my shirt, but I recently went to see Metallica in Arlington, Texas, and it was a lot of fun. I went with one Mark Gifford and his wife, and I stayed in a crappy motel, intentionally crappy motel with my brother-in-law, whom I'm close with. Our wives gave us tickets to the show like last Christmas, and a two-night show, right? Metallica's doing this great thing right now where they'll play the same venue, the same town on a Friday and a Sunday, and they're giving you a completely different set list. And it was a wonderful experience. It was my fourth and fifth time to see Metallica, and they did not disappoint. For this new album, 72 Seasons, which we've covered plenty on LML, right? Because it's one of our favorite things in the world. That is, Metallica is one of our favorite things in the world. But I have to say, ooh, what is this? I have to say that the band sounds as good as ever. I love where they're going creatively, where James is taking it with the lyrics, and how they sound. Elements of all of my favorite old albums back again. And I could talk on and on about Metallica and about both shows. But today's story is not actually about the shows themselves. It's just sort of the context for the situation, okay? Today I want to tell you that when we got in, my brother-in-law and I, that is, we drove into Arlington. We got in on Friday, and we got in kind of late, because much to my wife's chagrin, even though she wasn't with us, she was like, have you planned ahead? And like, do you know what time you need to get in and everything? Ooh, is this boss time? Or did we just kind of switch to a new area? Ooh, this looks kind of bossy, doesn't it? I just don't remember. Okay. I'm gonna use my lightning strikes because I feel like this is a big moment, yeah? So, I didn't plan ahead about what time we're supposed to be there, so I stupidly missed Mammoth. So that's a bummer. I'm gonna have to go see him another time. You could say them, but it's him, right? I'm gonna have to go see Baby Van Halen another time. I missed that. I saw Pantera. Long story short, what a pity. What? I did great. I don't know what you're talking about. And by the way, sometimes a C is good enough. Don't you think? All right, let me stop for a second. No, take it easy, 1943, and get into the real story, because I'm still just setting context here, right? Point is, we got to the show a little late, so we barely right now had time to check in to the motel, shitty motel, Motel 6, where possibly a prostitute was working all weekend. Possibly. Who knows? I don't want to make any judgments about people. I'm just talking about how someone was dressed and that they were standing outside all weekend. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, we didn't have a chance to stock up the hotel room before we went to the show. And the show was great, and we spent the evening after the show with Mark and with Lee hanging out at their fancy Airbnb, and then we took our asses to the shitty Motel 6, and we didn't have any provisions. So the point is, and the real story is, that the next morning, my brother-in-law and I are like, okay, we need breakfast, and we need to go to the liquor store. This is a dude's weekend, you know what I mean? Those things are important. Breakfast sandwiches and booze. So we go to the liquor store, right? And this is like 11 a.m. I think they opened at 10, so we waited like a whole hour later than we needed to. And we get there, and there's nobody in there except for the guy working the place. And I think he sort of like quickly greets us when we walk in, and we're on autopilot. You know what I mean? We know exactly what we're getting. We're getting a 1.75 of Jim Beam. We're getting, okay, that didn't work out, so let me try something different here. How about we go bang, 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 offensive power all the way. We go 1.75 of Jim Beam. We go a case of beer, right? And then I'm looking for the Coke. I'm looking for the Diet Coke. And can't find it immediately. New liquor store, I don't know what I'm doing, so I kind of swing around to the front of the store, but you know, where the counter is and where the guy working is, and set my beer and my liquor down. And he says, what else can I get you? And I said, Coke. And before he can answer, my brother-in-law has walked up to the front counter. And so, because the guy behind the counter is sort of pausing, not answering right away, I figure, well, they're talking now. I will go walk around and find it myself. I get like a couple of 2 liters of Diet Coke, and I come back to the front. And they're in the middle of a conversation. Problem is, the man behind the counter is speaking an accent that is difficult for me to understand. And I don't know quite what he's already said, and I don't understand what he's saying when I walk up. But I set the Diet Coke on the counter, and he looks at me and he's like, really? Diet Coke? Is that what you were asking for? Or something like that. Something to that effect. It was a judgment about the Diet Coke. That's all I know for sure, okay? And I'm like, yeah. And this is the weirdest part, is he's getting a bag for the Coke, right? And he's like, sort of like playing with the bag with his hand and doing kind of like a, I don't know, like a card shark. I was reminded of like in poker movies when a guy's doing like a card shark thing with the cards. And he starts going, last chance, boys. And I'm like, what? And he's like, last chance. And I'm like, no, we have everything we need, man. And he's like, it's like super awkward. And he's like waiting for us to like I don't know. I don't know what he's waiting for. So I just walk over to the credit card machine and start like trying to pay. And then he acquiesces and walks over and starts setting up payment, like wait for me to make payment. I pay. And then he says, last chance, one more time. Right. And I'm like, for what? And then he apologizes. And I don't know why, but he goes, sorry. And then he starts pointing around the store to the liquor. And he goes, last chance, last chance? Like, I've paid now. I have a receipt already. I'm like, nah, man, I'm cool. And so we left, and it was, you know, it was super awkward. Like, what the hell is this guy talking about? And so over the course of the weekend, over the course of Metallica weekend, my brother-in-law and I are in constant debate and conversation about what the fuck last chance could have meant, right? And I came to the conclusion that perhaps when I said Coke, that he thought I meant cocaine, maybe? And that he was, like, ready to make that happen for me. Do you know what I mean? And then when I brought up Diet Coke to the counter, he was like, oh, really? Is this what you meant? You know? And then he starts this last chance business. But we also, like, had other theories. Like, perhaps because he was pointing around the store in the final last chance, that he was maybe saying, like, if you want to, like, 5-finger discount something, you can. You know, like, if you want to steal, I don't care. I don't know. Could that be what he was saying? Hard for me to figure out. We also had some creative answers that were not likely. By the way, I just smoked this dude. No big deal. Mission 1 clear. No big deal. Destructive rate 100%, no big deal. Sometimes you get the A+. Sometimes you get the C, but sometimes you get the A+. We had some creative answers. Maybe there was a, you know, like a Russian brothel in the back that he was last chancing about. Perhaps there was like some sort of monkey fighting, like a monkey fighting ring in the basement that he was inviting us to partake in. Not too sure, but Metallica weekend was amazing. And last chance guy at the liquor store at 11 a.m. was truly the strangest and most memorable part, despite a great performance by Metallica and a subpar performance by Pantera, by the way. The liquor store was the most memorable. So thanks to Mark and Lee and Charlie for a great weekend. Also Rachel and Kara, all LML friends, for sending us there. It was a great time. And guys, that's it for 1943. I smoked that ship, no big deal. No big deal, no big deal. Last chance, last chance. In between now and the next time I talk to you, I'm Team Money, I'm T Rizzy, I'm Todd. See you.